back. So today we're basically talking about whether cities should expand public surveillance cameras, and we all pretty much landed on different sides of this debate.
Yeah, I definitely didn't agree at first.
We basically doing the three perspective version, pro against, and somewhere in the middle.
And honestly, I feel like that just makes the decision and discussion way better. So I'll start us off. So to kick this off, I'm on the side that thinks expanding surveillance cameras, if it's done properly, can genuinely make cities safer. Like not in the scary big brother is watching you way, more in the practical, useful security tool way. So let me start with the easiest example, parking lots. Crime in parking lots dropped 40 to 50% after cameras go up. And honestly, that's massive. If someone thinks that they're breaking into a car or they're about to into a car and sees a camera, the impulsive moment disappears.
Um, yeah, deterrence works way more on people who aren't planning anything deep, just acting on impulse.
Yeah, exactly. And cameras mainly prevent spur of the moment crimes. And if something does happen, you can get real footage. Not the classic, I think the guy was wearing maybe a gray hoodie, or it could have been blue. And honestly, police solve cases way faster with video. There are a whole lot of incidents where the only reason the victim got justice is because someone caught it on film. Another big example, big events, concerts, parades, sports playoffs, those can get really hectic really fast. Cameras help sort problems before it even gets dangerous. This is fights forming, crowd crush, or even someone getting acting super suspicious. These all help the staff respond way faster.
Yeah, large crowds are unpredictable, but I always feel safer when I know the area is monitored.
Yeah, me too. But here's the thing. The most practical point is that cameras are way cheaper than hiring more officers. Cities don't have the staffing or the budget to post officers everywhere. The cameras fill these gaps so so the officers don't actually have to respond to calls that matter. Oh, sorry. And then for most cities, they aren't using the really crazy high-tech facial recognition stuff. It's not like every street camera has facial recognition. Most most of it is just, normal video monitoring.
Mm, yeah, people online sometimes make it sound like every lamppost has a secret AI scanning your face.
Yeah, exactly. There's a huge difference between normal surveillance and dystopian surveillance. So here's my overall view of this. I support expanding cameras, but not randomly or recklessly. I want clear signage, clear policies, strict limits on footage storage, and no facial recognition unless it's heavily regulated. I'm pro expansion, but honestly, only strategic expansion. Cameras where they're useful, where data supports it, and where they actually improve safety. What do you
All
guys
right.
think?
Um, so I would like to explain my point. So here's my sense. I'm not uh, anti-camera. I'm anti-over-expanding cameras. So because um, once surveillance grows up too fast, it's really hard to scale it back. Uh, that's why people call it like a slippery slope because it literally is. So the first problem, I think it's the main one, is privacy. So even if you're not doing anything wrong, it is uncomfortable to knowing your every move might be recorded and it changes behavior.
Yeah, I totally agree. I definitely pretend to act extra normal when I notice a camera around.
Mm, that's the point. So it makes people self-conscious. Public spaces shouldn't make you feel like you're being evaluated. Um, so the second point and issue is misuse. Footage can leak, the footage can be hacked, or it can be accessed by someone who shouldn't see it. Cities don't always have a perfect cybersecurity. Some don't even have good retention policies, meaning um, your footage could sit stored forever. So then there is a facial recognition. Those systems misidentify people of color more often, especially like black and Asian individuals. So if cities expand cameras quickly, they might start relying on tech that still has some um, bias issues, you know?
And with policing, even one mistake can ruin someone's life. That stakes are high.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't get a my bad when someone is falsely accused. Um, Another point, um, in my opinion, cameras don't actually stop the crime physically. They just record the crime. They don't prevent someone from doing something in the moment. Um, Most criminals commit crimes fast, and they can be done before anyone even checks the feed, right? So costs are another concern. People assume cameras are a one-time purchase and that's it. No, it actually not that. So first of all, you need installation, maintenance, storage system, cybersecurity to not be hacked, the footage not be leaked, and staff to actually monitor the footage. So cities often underestimate how expensive long-term surveillance systems are. So, and finally, crime displacement. Put cameras on one street, crime might just move to another street. So surveillance doesn't eliminate crime, it's sometimes just shifts. So for me, surveillance should be a last resort, not the first response, right? So we should try community-based solutions, lighting, youth programs, social supports, um, and things that addresses the causes of crime before installing more cameras. I'm not fully anti-surveillance. I'm against expanding it everywhere without thinking.
Hmm. So I guess I'm the middle ground guy here. So I see both sides clearly because both sides make valid points. So let me break it down. So how I see it. Number one, cameras are useful, but only in certain places. We don't need we don't need a full city takeover. Cameras make the most sense in parking lot, transit stations, nightlife districts, or high crime pockets, busy public squares, places where things realistically happens, not random quiet neighborhoods.
Yeah, exactly. Targeted, not universal.
Right, expanding cameras everywhere just in case is unnecessary and honestly, it's a kind of wasteful. So number two, expansion should be data driven. If a report shows a specific area has repeated issues, assault, car theft, vandalism, then cameras make sense because they are the evidence based. But if a neighborhood is peaceful and doesn't have crime, mm, why waste money installing a surveillance camera there?
Yeah, that's literally my issue, blanket expansion.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. So number three, there must be strict rules. Like if a city expands surveillance, it needs public signage, limit on how footage is kept, no secret cameras, no unregulated facial recognition, then annual audits, and what is public reports on how footage is used. So it brings transparency, the builds trust, and people shouldn't be wondering who's watching me. They should know exactly what the cameras are for.
Yeah, I think that's honestly the part I think everyone agrees on.
Exactly. We all want safety, but not like you say, but not all the cost of feeling like watched 24/7. So here comes number four. Cameras shouldn't be replaced real safety work. Surveillance alone doesn't reduce crime, but surveillance, good lighting, um, community community policing, and social programs that combine is actually effective.
Um, yeah, this is actually, it has to be part of a bigger strategy.
Exactly. So my stance isn't yes or no. It's more like yes, but carefully, slowly, and only where needed.
Thank you guys for sharing your thoughts. It was so interesting hearing everyone's ideas, but I think I'm still pro expansion, as long as it's reasonable, transparent, and actually useful.
Mm, yeah, so I'm still cautious. I support surveillance, but only where it's genuinely necessary and never without privacy protections.
Mm. And I'm staying in the middle. Expands only in high risk areas. So avoid doing it everywhere and keep strong regulation in place.
And that's our debate. Three different perspectives, one topic, and hopefully a clearer sense of what surveillance expansion really means to us.
Thank you.
Thank you.